Any questions about placement advisors right now, since we're on Megan, and what they do and how they work? Who pays for them? How long they look for you? No? You guys are, okay, that's awesome. All right. We will go on to Jenny. Independent living. Question number 1. What is the primary advantage of independent living communities that supports a senior's lifestyle choice? A, full-time medical supervision in a comfortable setting. B, personalized in-home care tailored to individual needs. C, freedom from responsibilities and costs of home maintenance. And D, access to intensive physical therapy services without leaving home. Who wants to yell out the right answer? C, excellent. C, freedom from responsibilities and costs of home maintenance. Is that what you normally hear, Jenny, when people come to tour?
That's about 100%.
Okay.
That's about 100% of our residents that move in just want that freedom from, they don't want to do one more pool repair, roof repair, those things.
Gosh, got it. What would the second most?
Moving closer to their adult children.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. Second question. What type of residential unit is most commonly offered in independent living communities, providing both privacy and essential amenities? A, shared bedrooms with communal kitchens and living spaces. B, private one-bedroom apartments with fully equipped kitchenettes. C, multi-bedroom units designed for family living. Or D, large single-family homes with private yards. What would the best answer for that be? B, one-bedroom apartments with fully equipped kitchenettes. But Jenny, there are other models, right?
Exactly.
Why don't you share
Yes.
what those might be?
Yes, it can be very, there's a variety of independent living communities. We have at Heritage Downtown, we have a very unique platform with their apartments, with residents move in, independent and active. However, we do have on-site care available if needed later down the road. But we all know that there are other type of independent living homes, apartments, other type of independent communities out there.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right. Which of the following services is generally excluded in independent living communities, emphasizing the focus on a more self-sufficient lifestyle? Comprehensive housekeeping and laundry services, assistance with personal care activities like bathing and dressing, a variety of recreational and social activities, or scheduled transportation to medical appointments and shopping. Which one would be excluded usually for independent? B, very good. Assistance with personal care activities like bathing and dressing. However, Jenny just said.
Right, we do have all of the above.
So at Heritage Downtown, they do have that available if you'd like. And you can use kind of their kind of in-house partner, right? Or
Correct.
they could bring in, if you've been using somebody at your home and you decide that an independent community is a great place because you are just tired of the maintenance and you're tired of cooking your own meals, then you could bring your favorite caregiver with you, right?
Well, there
No?
are you can. There are
Okay.
restrictions, but they have to have liability insurance.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, which you should have anyway.
Right.
Right, and that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, now we're going to transition to assisted living, and we've got Cheryl representing Byron Park and the Kensington, and 20 years experience, right? Question 1. In assisted living, well, first of all, I'm going to go back. Any questions about independent living? Yes. That's a really good question. Do you send people away when they can't be independent anymore?
It depends on where they're living. Like, for example, at Rossmore, if you need care, you need to find that care. You need to find a company or a family member or somewhere to bring in that care. At Heritage, where from Heritage Downtown, we have a built-in care company that we are partnered with. They're on site, and we don't ask our residents to move, or we don't move them to another building or another floor. They stay in their apartments, and the care can come to them. They do not have to move. The care can come in, hospice can come in. That's their home. So we make it very accommodating and very home-like for them.
I think the only time might be if you need 24/7 skilled nursing. Am I right in that?
Right. I mean, you can still bring that in, but it depends on what level you're willing to do on your own.
Okay.
Yes.
But that's a really good question. Yeah. All right. All right. First question, Cheryl. In assisted living facilities or communities, I don't like that word facilities. We're not allowed to use that. The community. Which services are most integral to supporting residents' daily lives? A, professional assistance with activities of daily living, bathing, dressing, mobility, etc. B, round-the-clock full-time nursing care for critical health needs. C, fully independent apartment living with minimum staff interaction. Or D, comprehensive financial and estate management services. Which would the right answer be? A, thank you very much. Professional assistance with activities of daily living, bathing, dressing, mobility, and what am I forgetting there, Cheryl?
I think one of the big things is also the household maintenance, the housekeeping, the laundry, the transportation. Oftentimes medication management is one of the first things people might need. Certainly hygiene, incontinence support, help with mobility and navigating a community so we minimize fall risk. So all that's part of assisted living.
Oh, that's very good to know. Perfect. All right, second question. Assisted living communities primarily cater to individuals who require support with which of the following, kind of redundant, but complex financial planning and investment strategies, routine activities of daily living, preparing gourmet meals for daily consumption, or managing chronic and advanced medical conditions without external assistance. Answer is B. I know, sort of redundant there. All right.
I would add in reminders.
Perfect.
For a lot of people, there may not be physical needs, but the reminders. It's time to go eat now. Let's go to this activity now. And let's go back to your apartment. Time to change. So even if people can physically do some of those things, they might need those reminders. And oftentimes those needs can be met in assisted living as well.
And that makes me think of people that I know that have had parents and grandparents in communities where, gosh, we haven't seen Beatrice at dinner tonight. So it's beyond reminders. It's, where is Beatrice, right?
Yeah.
And then are you going to go
wellness
look
checks.
for Beatrice? Thank
Yes,
you.
wellness checks, I would say, just the peace of mind that somebody's okay, checking in throughout the night to make sure they haven't had a fall, getting their day started, and absolutely noticing if they're not at a meal. Also checking like their weight. Sometimes older adults are forgetting to eat, and weight loss can be a concern. That could be an indication of many things that are medically going wrong. It could be something cognitive. So keeping tabs on that. Most assisted livings have a team that's going to be monitoring weight, skin condition, overall well-being, and if we start to see patterns that are concerning, we'll communicate that with the family and the physician so we can see what's the root cause of that.
That's awesome. Okay. Which feature is typically a hallmark of assisted living communities contributing to residents' quality of daily life? A full independent gourmet kitchen in each unit, 24/7 in-room nursing care for all residents, a diverse schedule of social, recreational, and educational activities, or full housekeeping, laundry services, and meal preparation. Answer? I wrote down C. Am I
think
wrong?
C is correct. Yes. But I think a lot of those things can be relevant. I think D is absolutely included. C is relevant. Most assisted livings are not considered nursing homes, so I think it's really important to understand the distinction of what is assisted living, what is nursing care. We can all talk about that later. But yeah, the social component is such a big part of why people seek out senior living, because so many people have been isolated at home, whether they are no longer driving and they're isolated, their friends have moved away, People have passed away. So one of the biggest improvements in quality of life when people move is the socialization. They're talking more often. They're enjoying a meal with other people. They're participating in the world, and they're looking at more than a television all day. They're really engaged in the world again.
That's awesome. Awesome. Okay, we're going to skip. Oh, well, so any further questions about assisted living in general or how it compares to independent? Questions? No? Okay. You've got the experts here. Oh, yes, Martha, ask a question.
So, skilled nursing versus a nursing home.
Why don't you use a microphone so everybody can hear your question?
What's the difference between skilled nursing and nursing home care?
They're usually synonymous. Usually you get into a skilled nursing after a qualifying medical, like a hospitalization, and you can be discharged to a skilled nursing or a nursing home for rehab, for any kind of therapy, occupational, speech therapy, physical therapy. Some people need to live there permanently if they're choosing to be on something like a ventilator, a respirator, things that are not allowed in California in an assisted living. But for most people, skilled nursing is hopefully a temporary stop until they can get discharged, go to an appropriate assisted living or a memory care, and get sometimes some ongoing PT or OT if their insurance is covering it with the doctor's order. But I think a lot of people assume when you get older that you need to go to skilled nursing as the last step. And I think the research shows that only about 15% of older adults over the age of 85 actually permanently need a skilled nursing environment. So hopefully it's just a temporary stop. You fall, you break a hip, you get better, you come back to your either home or a community that's going to take care of you.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. Okay. We're going to talk about some lending now. What demographic is eligible to apply for a reverse mortgage, considering both age and home ownership requirements? I'm going to have you answer this, Marty, if you'd like. Yeah. So the possible answers would be A, any individual over the age of 50, regardless of mortgage status. B, homeowners age 62 and older, typically with substantial equity in their homes. C, first-time home buyers looking for alternative financing options. Or D, individuals who own their homes outright with no existing mortgage. What would the right answer for this be? D. D is incorrect. It's B. Homeowners age 62 and older, typically with substantial equity in their homes. Marty, what happens if you're 62, you want to use a reverse mortgage, but you don't have substantial equity? Are we all, is it a no, can't use it?
Well, there's some homeowners will have a mortgage on their property. So we can use the reverse mortgage to pay off that existing mortgage. And then if there's funds left over, then that money's available in a line of credit as it's available. But there are some different options as you go through this, to help provide that extra cash, but mainly is to pay off that existing mortgage.
Well, and I know some people that we didn't think they had as much equity in their home, but because home prices and home values have increased so much in our area over the years, to get a reverse mortgage, they do an appraisal, just like any forward mortgage would do. They would send an appraiser out to do an appraisal on your home, and gosh, you might find out your home is worth a lot more than you thought. So that's where you can access some possible additional equity out of your home.
That really helps.
Yeah.
We're seeing some home prices values go down a little bit today as the market is, the higher interest rates really are discouraging people, but that's also preventing some of that money being available. So, but overall, we're very pleased with the way the market is improving, and we're fortunate in the Bay Area that the home prices have not declined dramatically as they have in other areas.
True. And it kind of depends on your neighborhood, your city, your school
Location,
district.
location,
Yeah,
location.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. Okay, Martha, upon the death of a homeowner with a reverse mortgage, what is the most likely outcome concerning the loan? A, the outstanding debt is automatically forgiven and the home remains with the heirs. B, the government seizes the property as repayment for the loan balance. C, the full loan balance becomes due and payable, often requiring the sale of the home. Or D, the homeowner's family must assume the debt and continue making monthly payments. All right, class, what's the right answer? C? Do we hear C? Very good.
Yes.
Anything else you want to add to that? So somebody passes away and here we go.
Just like a regular mortgage, if the homeowners or the borrowers pass away, the loan is due and payable. And the heirs can either refinance the loan balance and keep the property or pay off the mortgage and keep the property. With a reverse mortgage, there's a special caveat. Because if for some reason in the future, when you sell your home or if you passed away, if the mortgage balance were to exceed whatever your home value was, you're not responsible for that shortfall. So unlike a traditional mortgage, you might have some liability. With the reverse mortgage, it's insured through Federal Housing Administration, and FHA will pay that shortfall. So what this is, there may not be equity for your kids to spend, but there will never be a burden that they have to bring money out of pocket. And that's because these loans are called a non-recourse loan. There's no personal liability for you or your heirs for any shortfall. And this is the type of the loan that doesn't even show on your credit report because, again, you have no personal liability.
Awesome. Okay, Marty, I'll have you take question 3. Which feature is a significant advantage of a reverse mortgage, particularly for seniors wishing to remain in their homes? A, no interest is accrued on the loan throughout its duration. B, the homeowner receives payments while continuing to live in the home. C, it's an option exclusively available to high-income individuals with significant assets. Or D, the home's market value is guaranteed to increase during the loan period. Which feature is a significant advantage? Anyone? B. B is correct. You guys are so smart. So the homeowner receives payments while continuing to live in the home, or they can take it in other ways, right?
Yeah, there's different features again. The remaining money that's in the account, it's in a line of credit account, or it can be set up as monthly payments as well, or a combination of those. Somebody might need a little bit of money extra each month, but then keep that balance in the line of credit. Nice. It works out well and then as long as they keep the money in the line of credit, that line of credit balance continues to grow with the interest. And we have an advantage right now with the higher interest rates. That line of credit has a higher interest rate as well, so it grows pretty good. So
that's nice.
Yeah.
All right. So monthly, you can have a monthly or a lump sum or a combination, which is nice. So you worked hard for your house, now you're making your house work hard for you, or pay back. It's payback time. All right, Martha, last one on reverse mortgage. Which of the following are popular ways to utilize a reverse mortgage? A, finance the purchase of a new home. B, pay for in-home care. C, refinance the homeowner's current mortgage. Or D, all of the above. Anyone? I hear C, I hear D. Anyone? Who's the tiebreaker? What was that guy? D. D is correct. Anything to add to that, Martha?
So few people realize that you can actually use a reverse mortgage to purchase a home. So one of Dayna's clients had a home on a hill, which was beautiful in Lafayette, but their financial advisor told them that, you're spending money faster than I can make it for you. So they sold their home They put some of that money in the bank for their future use. They use the remaining down funds for a down payment, and they financed a new home. But that financing wasn't a traditional mortgage where now they're saddled with the payment again. It was a reverse mortgage. So each month they received their statement. If they opened it, fine. If they didn't, it's fine. There's no payment due on that reverse mortgage for the rest of their life. And I think they have one passed and one is moved to a community to live in. And it was a really nice way for them to have that financial freedom during those last few years. So if you're interested in that at all, I have a home buyer guide outside, and it's growing in popularity. So come talk to me and I'll explain it for you. Thank you.
Any questions for reverse mortgages? Cliff? That's a good question. So title, how they
The
hold
title
title.
stays in your name or the name of your living trust. The loan balance is never due as long as one borrower lives in the home. And like any other mortgage, you have to pay the property taxes, the insurance, and the homeowner's dues.
Perfect. That's a really good question. Okay, we are going to morph into other mortgage options with Nikki today. And the first question for Nikki is, which type of mortgage allows homeowners to leverage their home's equity, providing flexible borrowing options? A standard forward mortgage repaid with monthly installments. B, a home equity line of credit, enabling borrowing as needed. C, a Federal Housing Administration or FHA loan designed for first-time buyers. Or D, a bridge loan used primarily to finance a new home purchase. Who has an answer to that one? B. B is correct. Anything you want to add to a HELOC? Are there pros or cons to it?
Sure. I thought I stand up because I need to stretch my legs. Hopefully that's okay. If anybody else would like to stand up and stretch their legs, they can do it along with me. A HELOC is a wonderful tool that you can use to take money out of your house. So many people have equity in their house right now, especially in the Bay Area. And so you can take money out, you can use it for whatever you want. You can go buy your red Ferrari if you want, take off to Las Vegas, but you do have to make payments on the HELOC, so which is different than a reverse mortgage where no payments are required.
So I have to make a payment every month?
You do have to make a payment every month.
I don't like that.
No, but you are paying the money down, which means you're reducing the loan that's on your house, which means your heirs will have more money at the end.
And did you say, is it interest only?
Interest only.
Oh. What's the typical interest on a HELOC right now?
Goodness gracious, Dayna. Have you all noticed interest rates have been changing a little bit recently?
Yeah. Up,
So
down, sideways.
the banks and also at cross country, we were offering about a month ago about 12% on a HELOC, but now we're down to about 11, 10%.
Sorry to put you on the spot. All right. When planning to purchase a new home before selling the current one, which a lot of my clients like to do because they don't want to be homeless and they don't want to go couch surf at their sister's home, right? So they're selling their home. Maybe they're downsizing and buying a smaller home. Once in a blue moon, I actually have clients selling their home and buying a bigger home. Doesn't happen too often, but I have had that because they want more room and more space for the grandkids to come over and play. Okay, so when planning to purchase a new home before selling your current one, which mortgage option is most utilized? Home equity line of credit, a bridge loan to cover the gap between buying and selling, a reverse mortgage designed for senior homeowners, or a fixed rate mortgage providing long-term stability. What would the best answer be? B, a bridge loan. How do bridge loans work? Any secrets we need to know about?
Bridge loans are the biggest secret in mortgage lending right now, especially in the Bay Area. We are specialists in bridge loans. The nice thing about a bridge loan is so many people in the Bay Area have been in their house for years and they don't want a 2-story house or a pool to maintain anymore. So you can use a bridge loan to buy your new house, which is the right size house for you at this stage. You move into your new house, you enjoy it, unpack your boxes, you let Kim help you. And then Dayna comes in and she sells your old house without you in the house.
But I helped them buy the other
Well, of course, sorry, I didn't include that, but yes. So we do, yes. So the bridge loan gets you from point A to point B. Then as soon as your old house sells, then you pay off the bridge loan with the proceeds of your old house. So a lot of people are using this to still have no mortgage payment. All you do is have that temporary bridge loan for about 6 to 11 months, and you pay interest only during that time.
So 6 to 11 months. So if I wanted to refinance it in 3 months after moving, wouldn't.
So if you would like to get a regular mortgage, either a reverse mortgage or a traditional mortgage, you can refinance that bridge loan, and then you can end up having 2 houses. Or if you're not ready to sell your old one just yet.
And bridge loans tend to be a little bit higher interest rate.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But it is a tool, again, that has gained popularity, especially in this area.
I mean, just it eases the hassle, right, and panic of we're putting our home on the market, but we haven't found our next dream home. What do we do? And I have yet to have anyone go homeless on me, so that's not going to happen.
On top of that, so many people need to fix their house up before they sell it. You need new carpet, you need new paint, and who wants to live in the house while you're getting new flooring? So this way you can completely get out of your old house, let Dayna and her crew come in and do what they do best, get the house ready, and it will sell really quickly.
Any other questions about bridge loans from anybody? Because they're awesome. All right, one more question. What is the defining characteristic of a forward mortgage, particularly in terms of repayment and loan structure? A, it's a traditional mortgage where borrowers make monthly payments to reduce principal debt over time. B, it's a loan that requires no monthly payments and accumulates interest until the home is sold. C, it's restricted to senior citizens age 62 and above. Or D, it provides immediate funds for home improvements without requiring repayment until the home is sold. What would the right answer be for that question? Forward mortgage or just a regular old mortgage? Anyone want to yell out? D is incorrect. A is it is a traditional mortgage where borrowers make monthly payments to reduce principal debt over time. And you can prepay that down, right? You can pay more principal over time.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So yes, a traditional mortgage, it does get a little confusing because in the world of lending, we define ourselves as reverse and forward. So forward is the traditional mortgage that we're all used to, the one that we have a monthly mortgage payment when we're paying the principal down. Whereas a reverse mortgage, you are not making payments, but the interest is getting added to the loan balance, and that's growing over time.
Thank you. So I guess if you guys want to stand up when you answer your questions, let me know, or just be free. Nancy, financial concerns, all about you. Question. Which financial challenge is particularly relevant for seniors as they manage their resources in retirement? A, paying off those student loans accumulated over the years. B, ensuring their retirement savings last throughout their lifetime. C, accumulating funds for a down payment on a new home. Or D, investing aggressively in high-risk assets like cryptocurrency. Which challenge is most relevant for seniors as they manage resources for retirement? B. Are they right, Nancy?
They are correct.
They are correct. Ensuring your savings last throughout your lifetime. All right, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I just want to say to ensure that your savings lasts throughout your lifetime, we've all kind of felt the pinch lately with what it costs us to go to the grocery store. So it's really important when you're saving for retirement that your goals are really clear and you plan for the what ifs. And your monies also have to be, diversified to keep up with inflation so that you can feel a little bit more comfortable that you will be able to maintain your lifestyle.
Awesome. Okay. What type of financial product is designed to provide a predictable stream of income during retirement, helping to manage longevity risk? A, an annuity that offers regular payments. B, a credit card with revolving credit limits. C, a personal loan with a fixed repayment schedule. Or D, a mortgage used to finance home purchases. What would the best answer be for that? A, an annuity. Pros and cons of annuities, Nancy. Pros and cons of annuities.
There's really pros and cons to most things that we experience in life. But with annuities, they can be a great planning tool when you need to guarantee a specific stream of income. The downfall with some of the annuities may be the surrender periods where you don't have access to all the funds in the account at one time. There's generally surrender charges that prohibit you from pulling your monies out without taking a penalty. But they can be used to create that stream of income that no matter what, you know that you have it.
All right. Third question. After retiring, which source of income is most relied upon by seniors to support their daily living expenses? A, continued salary from full-time employment. B, Social Security benefits, often supplemented by other savings. C, student loans, repurposed for retirement income. Or D, child support payments from adult children. Well, wouldn't that be fun? What is the best answer for that? B, Social Security benefits, supplemented by other savings. Anything to add?
Well, I did a little research on this to find out that in today, the latest numbers have come out that only 7% of our retirees actually live or have more than just Social Security. They have Social Security, a pension, and retirement income. That only represents 7% of people today. 50% of retirees actually, that Social Security income represents 50% of their income that they depend to live on from month to month. The one thing with Social Security also, of course, when one spouse passes away, then you have a reduced Social Security payment. So it's important to have other streams of income to supplement that Social Security to maintain your lifestyle.
And I know just the person that could help them do that. Happens to be sitting here right now. Any financial questions that you want to ask Nancy? Yes. How does a reverse mortgage affect income tax? That's almost more of a reverse mortgage question. Martha or Marty? I guess Martha will chime in first.
The money you borrow from a reverse mortgage is not considered income. You're borrowing the money. So the IRS doesn't tax us on the money that we borrow.
You want to add to that?
No,
Okay.
same answer.
All right, ditto. All right. Okay, selling a home. When selecting a new home for a senior, which of the following factors plays a critical role in ensuring long-term accessibility and well-being? A, proximity to family and healthcare facilities. B, less home and yard maintenance. C, one level with few stairs, ease of aging in place. Or D, the presence of luxury features like soaring ceilings and hardwood floors. What would the best answer for that be? Trick question. A, B, and C really are all the reasons why when people call me, Dayna, we think we want to sell our home. Those are the reasons. Less yard maintenance, less home maintenance. They can't do or they don't want to do the stairs anymore. It's expensive. It's a burden. And often they want to be closer to their family. So that's what people tell me. Next question. In the process of selling a home, which factor is pivotal in attracting serious buyers while maximizing return on investment? A, incorporating the latest home decor trends. B, conducting a comprehensive market analysis to set the optimal price. C, frequent hosting of open houses to showcase the home. Or D, timing the sale to coincide with the seasonal peak in the real estate market. What would the best answer for that be? Actually, no. C, comprehensive market analysis to set the optimal price. When you're selling your home, there's 3 things that are going to cause any home to sell. It is B. Oh, I'm sorry. It is B. What did I say? I'm going to use my excuse of just getting back from vacation. I'm going to take a pass on that. A mulligan? Is that what they say? I'm going to take a mulligan. Market analysis. So you're selling your home, condition, exposure, and price. But it always comes down to price. Any home will sell in any condition at the right price. See, you know this. You can all be realtors today. Which of the following strategies is most likely to accelerate the sale of a home in a competitive market? Neglecting exterior maintenance in favor of interior updates. Employing professional staging techniques to highlight the home's best features. C, strategically setting the right price at or below market value. Or D, leaving necessary repairs to the buyer's discretion. What would the right answer be for that? Trick answer, B and C. Just want to make sure you're paying attention out there. So staging is really important. It's more important than you think. Think about when you're looking, because I know you all do this. You all get online and you look at other houses. I know this. You want to see what your neighbors sold their home for. You know, we're just curious. Or you see some gorgeous home. You just want to look at the pictures, see, what updates they did. But think about the difference between looking at an empty home and then a home that's actually furnished, where you can get an idea of, well, where would they put the couch and where would the TV go? And to highlight amazing features in a particular room, or to maybe take the eye away from a feature that's not as great. I think it just creates a more emotional attachment to the buyers when first they're looking at the photos and then they come into the home personally and experience it for themselves. There's just more of an emotional impact. And we want to get those buyers emotionally connected to your home. We want them to see themselves living in your home. So, and of course, again, C, setting the right price. And you really can't, obviously you can list your home too high. You may think because you hand carried those Italian tiles for the backsplash in your kitchen, and you've loved those tiles, that your home is, even though it's the same exact model as your neighbor, your home is worth much more than your neighbor because of those tiles. Well, that might not be the case. But if you price too high, you will know very soon, because you will have either no showings or very few showings, or you'll have a handful of showings and no offers. And there's very specific statistics that the National Association of Realtors tracks for us. And we watch those very carefully. We look at the traffic. We look at how many people are coming through to show it. It's not so much open houses, but it's actual agent showings. You almost can't price a home too low, because think about it. If you priced it really low, you're going to have 10,000 offers. They're going to see the value. You're going to get offers. And then those offers typically will create an auction effect, rising the price back up to where it is, and sometimes often higher than if you priced it in the middle at market value. Okay. Yes. Good question. Time of the year that the house, does it matter seasonally what time you put it on the air? Well, You can wait till spring when the roses are blooming and your yard looks the best. But guess what? All your neighbors are doing the same thing. So now your yard looks great, but so does the neighbor that's now listed their home down the street and around the corner and 2 blocks away. You're going to have more competition in the spring. Typically, the most homes hit the market April and May, and then the typical close of escrow is 30 days, give or take. So you have the most closings May and June. People buy and sell homes every single day of the year. I've had some of the smoothest, quickest transactions right before and after the holidays. It just doesn't seem to matter. There's always wonderful things you can do to highlight the time of the year and your home. And really, often, it's more about what your life is doing, right? Do you need to move for a particular reason? Or did your spouse pass away and you don't drive anymore? Or there's just other reasons, health, etc., that really don't pertain to what's going on in the world, the market, or the economy, or the time of year to list your home. I don't know. Did that answer your question? Okay. All right, Kim. Which approach is most effective in simplifying the organizing process for seniors facing a major transition? A, delaying decisions until just before the move to avoid overthinking. Sounds good to me. Systematically addressing one area at a time to prevent overwhelm. C, purchasing new items to refresh the space before moving. Or D, opting to donate or discard everything in one go for a fresh start. What would the best answer be? B. Systematically addressing one area at a time to prevent overwhelm. Is there a particular area you suggest they usually start, or does it depend on the home?
I would say it depends on the home, but the majority of our clients, I would say, in a room that you use the least. A garage is a great place to start because when a realtor like Dayna comes in and wants your furniture out for staging, they're going to want to move it to the garage because that way you can still save money and not get storage and still keep the belongings that you want to keep that she doesn't want to use for staging. So a great place would be the garage, get all your unwanted items out, and maybe the guest room, a room that you don't use, the living room that nobody sits in, the family room that nobody sits in. Those are great rooms of furniture pieces you don't need as you downsize and declutter, so therefore those are the rooms that are great to start with. Then you can start piling in those rooms. The reason why you want to go room to room is because when you look at your whole house that you've lived in for 30, 40, 50 years, it's overwhelming. It's a daunting process, and you start overthinking each thing in each area that you're just exhausted just from thinking that you don't even attempt it. So I like to say, start with those rooms, give yourself 2 hours at a time, put it in your calendar just like you would do lunch with your family or meeting with your loved ones, because then you'll actually do that. And then you determine, okay, what do I really need and what do I don't need? And then that way you can determine what is the most important to you.
That's a great tip. All right. When would I use a move manager? When comparing moving companies? When you're moving from one side of the couch to the other? When you are packing and moving everything yourselves, except you want help selling your collection of Hummel figures? Or when you want assistance coordinating and managing all aspects of a home move, including planning, organizing, packing, and overseeing the entire relocation process to ensure a smooth transition? Best answer is D.
So Move Manager is an online certificate that you can get to get certified. So like Pods trademark the name. And then there's other companies that can use different, still have like travel storage, but they can't use the word. So Move Manager is somebody that is certified online that can do that can facilitate. Like me, I'm a facilitator. So we would come in and we would facilitate the job from start to finish. The benefit of having a move manager or facilitator is that you have a lot of pieces that need to be done, whether it's packing, moving, unpacking, whatever it is, you just become overwhelmed that you need somebody to be your brain so you can focus on the things that are important. Getting your passport, your diamonds, your medications, whatever it is that you need to make sure that you have that with you, and then you could depend on somebody else to help you facilitate the job from start to finish.
During a downsizing move, which method is most effective in managing the emotional and practical aspects of organizing a lifetime's worth of possessions? A, renting a storage unit to keep all items until after the move. B, creating clear categories such as keep, donate, and discard to streamline decisions. C, moving everything to a new location before making any decisions. Or D, ignoring items with sentimental value to simplify the process. Best answer? B, create clear categories to keep, donate, and discard.
So I'm going to kind of backtrack in the sense that I always say you're number one. It's one thing my father always tells me, you're number one in the sense that focus on what you want to keep. Moving's an hourly charge. That's how you're going to save money. Identifying what you want to keep and tag those items so when the movers come in, it's clear to them. Because a lot of people focus first on what they don't want. And what people don't realize is hauling companies like us, we don't charge for our time. We don't charge for labor. We charge by how much we fill the trailers. So therefore, that's not the money saving. And we separate donation from junk. So if you just focus on what you want to keep, and then you say, okay, in these different rooms or all the stuff we don't want, we'll come in and remove it from its location and then provide you a blank donation receipt. Because what you think is donatable or what you think can't be donatable might be the opposite. Because a lot of places don't want to have your big bulky furniture. They don't want your hutch. But maybe some college kid would want that. So there's other options that hauling companies can have that can do that where it's still the same cost, whether it's dumping or donating. But that way you can focus on you and then determine, okay, here's the stuff that we don't want. Take it away.
And we're kind of forgetting that there is an option sometimes to do an estate sale also that could help as well.
Estate sale, yeah. Yes.
All right. I think that's it. All right, Nancy, we're going to circle back to you. When considering how to fund living expenses in a senior community, this is how to pay for senior living. Which financial strategy is most effective for mitigating the risk of depleting retirement savings? Utilizing long-term care insurance benefits in combination with personal savings, relying solely on Social Security benefits without additional income sources. C is securing student loans designed for older adults seeking education opportunities. Or D, launching crowdfunding campaigns to solicit financial support from the community. What would the best answer be, folks? A, long-term care insurance in combination with personal savings. Anything to add to that, Nancy?
No, long-term care will supplement, of course, your cost of care. This is something that you have to have planned for well in advance of you actually needing that care. There are different policies for long-term care today that really weren't available, 10, 20 years ago, using, life insurance, annuities, as well as your standalone policies. So it's important that if you do have long-term care policies that you really do understand them and know what they will cover. The other thing, I just want to make a note that if any of you are a veteran and have had any disabilities associated with your service, there are also benefits to veterans and also their spouses that can be used in coordination with your long-term care and additional savings to actually cover that care.
Awesome. Okay. For seniors with limited savings, which government-funded program is most leveraged to subsidize the cost of assisted living, and what are the eligibility requirements? A, winning a significant amount in the lottery and using the funds strategically. B, wouldn't that be fun? B, taking out a new mortgage on an existing property with favorable terms. C, qualifying for Medicaid. We don't even have Medicaid. Typically requiring low income and limited assets. Applying for private student loans intended for career development later in life. What would the best government-funded program be? C, but we don't have Medicaid.
We have Medi-Cal here in California.
Because California's got to be weird.
We have to be special.
Yeah.
So our Medicaid program is Medi-Cal, and it is really designed to help those people who just don't have the resources to pay for care.
Awesome. Okay. And which type of insurance policy is specifically designed to provide coverage for long-term care expenses How does it differ from other common insurance policies? Long-term care covers costs associated with extended personal care services. Life insurance primarily offers a death benefit rather than funding for care. Auto insurance, which is intended for vehicle-related incidents. Or homeowners insurance, which protects against property damage. That's an easy one. That's too easy. I made this too easy. I made this whole thing too easy. That's okay. Anything to add?
No, your long-term care policies can provide for long-term care. They can provide for adult care services if you need them, as well as in-home care. So once again, just know what your policy does cover.
And when is it too late to get a long-term care policy?
It's too late to get a long-term care policy that when you have actually been diagnosed with one of a disease that will, in most cases, your last step will be in some sort of assisted living or long-term care. So you want to apply for long-term care standalone policy earlier. They're the most, they're underwritten with the most diligence, I think, when you have a standalone long-term care policy. There's also available today annuity contracts that if you put in a sum of money, it may double or triple depending on your health for a payment that might last for 3 to 5 years. But that's using your own money. It's not in a standalone policy. And the same can work with life insurances. So if you're able to pass an underwriting exam and the carrier offers you, life insurance, you can do life insurance as well with long-term care riders.
So complicated.
Dayna,
Let's just not get old.
If I may squeeze in.
Yes.
In regards to timing for long-term care insurance, I think it's important to know when you'd like to move also, but if your funds are contingent on the long-term care insurance, because there is a turnaround time period. And Nancy, is it 60 to 90 days, I believe, when you can avail of the long-term care insurance?
It's 60 to 90 days, and if you have more resources, you can extend that, which will reduce the premium of your long-term care.
Yeah. So sometimes there are requirements where, you will need assistance with 2 to 3 activities of daily living to avail of that. And usually the assisted living will prepare the paperwork to send to the long-term care insurance. Right, Cheryl?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're required to have the long-term care facility on a physician's report.
Very helpful information.
So the way the long-term care insurance works is that you will pay the community up front for the month, and then after the month is over, once you've been approved by your insurance, the community will fill out some forms for the insurance company. Sometimes they'll send a nurse to come assess you, and they'll reimburse you. You need to, again, qualify for 2 or 3 activities of daily living. What I've traditionally heard is, if you're over 60, it may not make sense to try to apply for a policy. Certainly talk to your financial planner and insurance agent, see if it makes sense, but they can get very expensive as you get older, so it's better to do it when you're younger, healthier, but certainly look into all your options.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, we're going to swing back to Kim for a minute. When initiating the planning of a senior's move, which critical first step ensures a streamlined and efficient transition? First step, A, immediately packing up all personal belongings to expedite the process. B, conducting a thorough assessment and categorization of belongings to determine what will be kept, donated, or discarded. C, securing transportation by booking a moving truck well in advance. Or D, selecting and purchasing new furniture to replace older items. What would the best answer for this be? B, conducting a thorough assessment and categorization of belongings to determine which is kept, donated, and discarded. And you can start this at any time, but again, start easy.
Well, and one thing, my suggestion as well, is that as we season, as my mom says, we can't really do a lot of things on our own, and it's hard for us to, say, pack the kitchen. So I like to say start from the back of the house. If you all want to save money and you can pack certain things, packing from the back of the house is the lighter stuff. It's your clothes, it's your linens, it's your toiletries, your medication, prescriptions. It's all of the above that makes it a little bit easier. So then when it comes to the front, where it's the more heavier items, then that's when you leave it to the professionals and determining what is the most universal piece, because you don't want big clunky pieces as you downsize. So you want to make sure you choose universal pieces that are easy for you to get around. Y'all might not be in wheelchairs now, but if you're like my mom, heaven forbid you break your femur, poof, you're in a wheelchair within 2 days. And all of a sudden now you have to be able to move around your place. So do it right the first time instead of having to pay for us to come back and do it again. So make sure that you have room to move around, because as we downsize, you don't need a lot of the same stuff. We don't play golf like we used to. We don't do the hobbies like we used to. So we don't need all those things taken to our new place. Minimize, save the space. You're downstairs half the time enjoying dinner or happy hour with your friends. You're not going to be in your place a lot.
Okay, awesome. Okay, later in life relocation, which of the following best describes the comprehensive responsibilities of a senior move manager? A, managing estate sales and liquidating assets to facilitate the move. B, overseeing the meticulous packing and unpacking of belongings while ensuring minimal disruption. C, orchestrating every aspect of the move, including logistical planning, coordination with moving services, and emotional support. Or D, managing the real estate transaction by selling the senior's home. What would the best answer be? B and C. B and C, I heard somebody say that. Very smart. Overseeing meticulous packing and unpacking with minimal disruption and orchestrating every aspect of the planning, coordination of all the services, and emotional support. I've seen you give very good emotional support.
Yes, I have a psychology degree, and my parents are seniors. My mom actually just fell a couple weeks ago and broke her head open at 77 years old, and we just brought her home from the hospital. So a lot of the things, as you're going through this process, we don't think of these things. We're emotionally involved. We've lived in our home. We planted that lemon tree in our front yard. We built this coffee table to fit this house. There's all these different emotions that we have when we're in the home. So having somebody who's not emotionally involved to help map out that plan, to manage the team, to manage the movers, to help you decide where these things go in your new place, because we're so set on it being this way for 50 years, you can't see something different because you're so emotionally involved or stressed out from everything that you have to do, that somebody coming in that's not a family member, because when we have our families come in, we always have our different agreements and we talk to each other differently than, say, you would a professional coming in. So have somebody on the outside come in and be that person to manage that job and have that skill that you need. Read the reviews and their Yelp reviews and their Google reviews. The ones that just say, oh my gosh, they were great. Look at the ones that have the compassion that you need, because a lot of movers or people that come in, they're movers, they're the muscle. My team's the muscle. I'm the compassion. I'm the one that understands the daunting process. So make sure you have that person that understands what your specific needs are and fills that void that you can't do yourself, so that professional could come in and do it for you.
Perfect. I'm going to skip over to Jonathan because I want to make sure we get to these questions too. Okay, Jonathan, which of the following encapsulates the primary advantage of aging in place for seniors, particularly in relation to emotional and psychological well-being? A, the ability to remain in a familiar and comfortable environment that fosters a sense of independence and continuity. B, guaranteed access to round-the-clock medical care without the need of hospital visits. C, the opportunity to engage in frequent social outings organized by the community. Or D, the elimination of the need for home modifications or adjustments to the living space. What would the best answer for that be? A, the ability to remain in a familiar and comfortable environment that fosters a sense of independence and continuity. Anything to add to that?
That is correct. I think the key words here is that it says that remaining in a familiar environment that foster the sense of independence. One of the challenges that our seniors face as we age is losing the ability of making your own decisions. One of our services that we provide at Rosa is, for example, if your license is taken away, you're not going to be able to drive anymore. And one of the services that we provide is our caregivers can actually drive for you. And with this, you still can continue with your regular routine, visiting your friends, coming to Savvy Seniors. So that basically provides the sense of independence while you are remaining at home.
Nice. Awesome. What is one of the most significant obstacles seniors face when choosing to age in place, particularly concerning their physical safety and autonomy? Ensuring that the home is equipped with necessary safety features and modifications to accommodate changing physical abilities, Or B, identifying and participating in social activities that match their interests and capabilities. C, deciding on a new home that better fits their evolving lifestyle and needs. Or D, reducing the amount of furniture and possessions to make the home more manageable. What would the best answer be? A, ensuring the home is equipped with the necessary safety features and modifications to accommodate changing physical abilities. And Jonathan, sort of beyond the grab bar, what else would we possibly be considering down the road?
Beside the grab bars, which is one of like the first steps that we do in our homes to make sure that we are safe, I think down the road is making changes to your bathroom. That's the main concern. Like you can wheel into the bathroom. That's one of the things. Removing rocks. That if you're using a walker, that can be a trip hazard. One of the things that we provide at Rosa is that we do an assessment, and that is to evaluate your physical care needs. And we also provide safety concerns. We highlight the areas where we think that there will be some safety issues for you as you age, and our care managers highlight those for you and provide some suggestions in what you can change at your home.
Perfect. Yeah. And it might include ramps, might include, I'm just using my mom as an example, a chairlift to get up the stairs. My mom used to say she was going to get on her broom and fly upstairs when she got on her chairlift. Could be even these bars that attach to the ceiling and floor to help you turn over in bed. I mean, there's so many amazing ways to make your home more user-friendly. And I also have a great connection with someone that is universally design certified. So they can come to your home if you want to. Sometimes you call me and say, Dayna, I'm not ready to move yet, but we do want to remodel the bathroom. And you did mention bathroom because bathroom is the number one place of falls, right? We slip. We slip getting out of the tub, or something's wet, or we're reaching for a towel, or we're using the towel rack as a grab bar. Don't do that. Comes right out of the wall. Anyway, so let us know.
I just want to add real quick,
Yeah.
being a donation company, we get ramps all the time that people need us to remove. So what my parents did, because your generation is usually the handy generation that knows how to jerry-rig things really well, is my dad took a full ramp and split it into pieces, because my parents have one step in each doorway, and use each piece to make it so my mom could get in and out of each doorway. So if you ever need ramps, feel free to reach out to us, because we get them all the time, and we'll happy just give them to you complimentary, because we'd rather donate it than just junk it.
That's awesome. Last question. Which type of service is most often required by seniors who choose to age in place, particularly as their health and mobility needs evolve? So which type of service? A, autonomous grocery shopping with external assistance. B, comprehensive in-home health care assistance tailored to the individual's medical and daily living needs. C, frequent relocations to different homes to accommodate changing needs. Or D, management of the home sale process to transition to a senior living community. Best answer is B, in-home healthcare assistance tailored to the individual medical and daily living needs. Anything to add to that?
That's very important. Making sure that that you have the right care in place is very important. And tailoring that care, normally a care plan that is built based on your need, that's very important when you are selecting. If you want to stay home, making sure that you have the right tools at home to keep you independent. Building a care plan that will highlight the areas where we need to improve on your end, or making sure that you have the right care when it comes to the caregivers, for example, if they want to help you with just the personal care or they want to help you around the house. So tailoring that service to your specific need is very important.
And then you even get to, you can specify if you want a female or a male, or right?
That is correct. So when selecting a care, for example, caregivers, it is your decision to decide who do you want to have at home, whether it's a male or a female caregiver. And you also have the option if, for some reason, the person that is coming from an agency is not, you feel like it's not the right person for you, you can actually bring that feedback to the agency and make sure that the person that is coming is somebody that you feel comfortable with.
I mean, my mom, I keep using my mom as an example, but I am not kidding you. We went through, if you look at the 3 8-hour shifts. We went through 17 humans coming through the house. We finally found that person that became part of our family. And we love her to death, and she loved my mom to death, and my mom loved her to death. So it's just like anything. It's like, speed dating, right? You don't connect right off the bat, and it's a relationship that has to be built. But it's a very special relationship when you do find that human that you will come to really rely on and love. So, any last questions before we do our raffle drawing? And in the meantime, is anyone missing a raffle ticket? Did everyone get a raffle ticket? There's a hand right there. Awesome. Okay. That concludes today's quiz. I appreciate you coming. I hope you were reminded of some things that we had talked about in the past. And we may do this again in the future, and we'll have a whole bunch of different questions to ask. But we will see you all next month. So it's almost time to start thinking about next year's topics. Did you get evaluations today? Okay. Would you do me a favor? Just write down real quickly your top 2 topics that you want us to present on next year, or even your top 1 topic. It could be a repeat, or it could be something that you've always wanted to know about. That would be awesome. And then I'm going to have you hand your evals to one of the lovely ladies that are our ambassadors. Yes, thank you. So I don't know who's been to one of our learning labs. I know Carolyn and Guy have. So our monthly learning lab is?
Yes, hello. So this month, the learning lab is next week. So Thursday, what time? 1:30 to 2:30. It's at the Keller Williams office in Walnut Creek, which is Dayna's office. I have a reverse mortgage specialist, Anne-Marie, who's going to be presenting on reverse mortgages. So remember, I do loans from all ages 18 to 118, and that also includes reverse mortgages. So Anne-Marie has a wealth of knowledge. Please feel free to come out and learn a little bit more about reverse mortgages. On that note, she also teaches this same class at the Pleasant Hill Community Center that people actually pay for. So she's doing this for you for free. So please join her.
And I will say the reverse mortgage that my mom got, thanks to these lovelies with Mutual of Omaha reverse mortgage, allowed my mom to stay in her home until her last breath. And it was just a godsend. And it helped pay for her in-home care and all of her home remodeling that we needed to do. And it allowed my brother and I to make sure her wishes were met and followed. And so, anyway, I would suggest you learn more about that if it's something that you've been curious about, because it's like not your grandmother's reverse mortgage anymore. They're very different. So, big round of applause for these amazing humans. Yay! And to thank them for being our awesome VIP education partners that allow us to continue to present these community seminars for free. So we will see you all next month. Bring a friend, and be well and stay cool today. Bye.